Hello, I'm Alan Johnson, and I'm joined here tonight with three of my children, Clay, Grant, and Kylie. And we're going to share with you how we practice showmanship year in and year out. Clay is going to serve as our cameraman. Grant and Kylie are going to be our showmen for tonight, and we'll just share with you how we practice on a daily basis. We're going to share one very crucial tip that we use to catch lambs, and Kylie and Grant are going to go in the pen and show you what we do when we go into a blank pen with lambs. First of all, you'll notice there are two gates on each side of the pen. It is critical to open those gates, run the sheep into a corner, that way nothing tries to jump a fence, jump a gate, run into a wall and get hurt when we're trying to catch them. So we'll just let you watch them pen these lambs. All right, we're going to break this showmanship deal down into three main areas. The first thing we're going to talk about is just simply setting a lamb. The second thing we're going to talk about is moving the lamb around the ring. And the third and the last thing we'll talk about is how to move with the judge in the ring, trying to keep your lamb between you and the judge at all times. So to start with, we're going to have Kylie set this lamb up, and I'll talk as she does this. The first thing you're going to notice is when she goes to set this lamb up, both her legs are in between the legs of the lamb, okay? She has control of this lamb by the chin. If the lamb tries to go forward, she pulls back. If he tries to back up, she grabs the dock, okay? So with that, she's gonna go ahead and set legs. You'll notice she sets the back legs first, and she always sets the side closest to the judge first. Once she gets the lamb's legs set, all she's going to do is lean up into the lamb and let that lamb brace up and push against her. Okay, now what we're doing is we're just practicing with the lambs, getting them to walk around the ring, okay? And when we're out in the yard, what you see Grant doing right now is 100% wrong, okay? He's right up against Kylie in the pen. We try to leave a full length of a lamb in between the person in front of you. That way, if we need to speed up, we can. Or if we see them slowing down, we have time to slow down. So you'll notice they're walking around the ring. If the lamb doesn't walk, grab and lift up on the dock. If the lamb's walking, we just give them a tap on the side. And as we work with them through the summer, we work with them in the yard. If we tap them on the side, that typically means go faster. That way, when we get to the show ring, we don't have to grab the dock and hump the lamb up. You'll see when Grant grabs the dock, that lamb humps up when he's walking. We like them to walk out with their head stretched up in the air and their back level, okay? Now this is relatively early in the season, and obviously we need a lot of work at walking, but that's what we're going to do to make these sheep learn to walk out in the show ring. All right, so now we're going to just practice like we're showing in a show ring, okay? And the way we're set up is the kids are going to enter from this side and come in the ring, and then they're going to face that way side by side, just like they would in a show ring. I will go through how I handle them and what they're supposed to do when I'm handling them, and then we'll move them around just like you would in any showmanship class or in any market lamb class. So go ahead and bring them in. So you notice when they come in, they keep the lamb between themselves and me at all times, okay? And they set up. Okay, so they have their lamb set up. Now, as a judge, I'm going to go up and handle, and what I'm handling for right now is I'm just trying to feel for firmness. So the lambs need to be bracing. And the way we practice, we absolutely cannot miss this first brace because that's a judge's first impression other than what the lamb looked like coming in. So they got them bracing well. The judge goes on down the line and handles lambs, and then what he usually does is he comes up front and he checks out the front of the lamb. And as you can see, you try to set the front legs square underneath each lamb and get off of them so I can see the front. Now, when I walk by, you'll notice Kylie switches sides. And as I walk by, Grant switches sides. That way, if I want a side view, they're shown from the opposite side. Okay, now I've handled the lambs, I've seen them as a judge. I'm going to put them on a profile. So I'm going to tell them to walk around this way and stop right here facing the wall. Okay, so this is a side profile. What we work on in the yard is when those kids stop those lambs, I want them to have them set and be shown in 7 seconds. 7 seconds is early in the season. We've got to be able to get them set and braced in 7 seconds. By the time we get later in the summer, it needs to probably be under 5 seconds. Okay? So one thing I will tell you, when they pull up, not very often do they ever have to set each leg. Okay? Take one step forward. Okay, now set. Okay, at least 2 of the legs are probably set already. They only grab 2 legs and now they're bracing. You don't have to grab every leg every time. Okay? Now, when I'm a judge, I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to handle again. And again, I'm handling for firmness. I'm handling for firmness. Then I'm going to look in the front again. Now, if it's a showmanship class, a lot of times the judge will make you show from the wrong side. So all of a sudden, they're showing from the wrong side. Now when I come this way, they go back to the other side. Okay, now I'm going to pull them in line. Okay, and I'm going to have Kylie come over here. So how is she going to keep the lamb between me and her at all times? She just makes a smooth motion. Walks him over and gets him set. Right here is where we need to be set in 7 seconds again. Grant? Okay, so as you see, these lambs didn't always cooperate perfectly. The biggest thing is to stay calm and stay consistent. Okay, if you do this day in and day out, every day for 10 or 15 or 20 minutes a day, by the end of the summer, they're going to know what is expected of them. And we do this. We don't spend hours in the yard doing this, but we take each lamb out and we spend 10 to 15 minutes every day, and we try to train them exactly the same way. We stay consistent in our technique and consistent in our routine. And if you practice those things, by the end of the summer, you should be able to drive these lambs and have a lot of enjoyment and success in the show running.